Hi, this is Krista at the Secret Yarnery. Today we're working on this granny square tote. We're going to be doing this nice edging on the side, making the granny squares and joining them together as you go. Now we're going to be making our sides of our bag, which are these small 2-round granny squares. You can actually do any size granny square you want. It's going to be the thickness of your bag or the width, the side of your bag. So I am doing just the 2 little rounds because I pretty much want a skinny little rectangular, like a book bag, just for like your wallet, your phone, not too big. So make your little squares. You can start by making a whole bunch of your centers, just the first round of the granny square. And then we'll be joining them together as I will join as you go. You can also just leave a long tail and sew them together if you want, but I find it just as easy to do it as you go, and then you actually have your nice side. So I started by making 1 row the same width as my bag. So I'm going to be making 15 of these to go around the 3 sides of the bag, and then however many I want to make the length of the shoulder strap. So for sure you're going to need however many, 3 of these lengths to do the 3 sides of your bag, and then decide how many you want to do to go over your shoulder. So to do that, you know how to do to start your granny square. So those are started, and I will show you how to join them up. So to start making the side of the bags, we need granny squares this size, so 2-row grannies, but we're going to start by making 1 2-row granny and then a whole bunch of 1-row grannies, or just the little saltine, just the starting ones. So finish 1 to 2 rows and then get at least your second one, or you can make a whole bunch. And your second one, we're just going to start and do 1 row. So let me see what yarn I'm going to use. Maybe I'll use this chenille. And remember to look for your V's. Now this side it actually doesn't matter if you're flipping them or not. It's up to you. I think on some I stopped flipping. I did, but it doesn't matter because it's only 2 rows, so it's going to be a square no matter what. But so just go into a different corner that you haven't used and attach your yarn, same as usual. Slip stitch with both strands to join, drop your tail and chain 2, 1 and 2. Go over your tails with 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. Into the next, we are starting our corner, so we're just going to do 3 double crochets, 1, 2, and 3. Push your stitches back like usual. Try to open up that corner a little bit. And chain 1. Now we're going to be joining as you go. So take your next square, the one that you have finished, and I put this one on top, so it's like up there, and I always leave it there, no matter what project I'm doing, just because it's kind of easier for me to remember what the heck I'm doing. Now go into this corner space with your hook. Just push your hook down and grab your yarn any which way. It feels a bit awkward at first, but just grab your yarn and bring it back, like bring it up, and slip stitch to join. So we did a chain 1 and a slip stitch, so that's still our 2 stitches. Get your granny square behaving so you can keep going forward. It tends to flip around, so get it right side up again. And we're going to do 1 more double crochet into that corner, so we do our double crochet. And then here we pull your hook down so you can see where you're going, and you'll see this first stitch right there. So we're going to work into that very first stitch. Just push your hook in, grab your yarn and bring it back, and slip stitch. And 1 more double crochet. So this is our second double crochet of the corner and into the next stitch. See how I'm pulling my hook down? You don't want to be like this and jumping because you'll skip this stitch here. So pull your hook out of the way and go into that first stitch that's empty that you haven't worked into, and grab your yarn and bring it to the top and slip stitch. Now everything's kind of behaving now because we've joined twice or three times. Okay, great. And our last double crochet into the corner space. So this one finishes our corner on the square we're working on, and we slip stitch into the next stitch of the completed square, slip stitch. And now we start our corner on the next one, so double crochet into the next corner spot, one double crochet, and slip stitch into the next stitch of the completed square, and double crochet into the corner space, and slip stitch into the next stitch of the square that's finished. And we've done 2 double crochets, so this is our last one into the corner for this side. So double crochet, and you can either go into the stitch or you can go into the corner space. I'm just going to go into the corner space and slip stitch. So there's our slip stitch. Now we're going to do a chain 1, so there's our 2 stitches for the corner, and we can pull these stitches back like usual. So there's some space. We're working over our tail by the looks of it. And 3 double crochets to complete this corner. So we've done our join. Now we're just going to finish going around this square. So you just finish this corner with your 3 double crochets. And you can see that we joined that as we went along. So that is join as you go. It wasn't hard. If you want to just stitch it together, you can, but just doing one little slip stitch at the end of your double crochet, it's pretty easy. So that's how I do it. You can do it any which way you like, and finish this square like so. Chain 2 and slip stitch to join. Chain 1, cut your yarn, pull it through, and work this one back in and along. So there is our 2 little saltines joined up, and you can decide if you want to join on this side or this side. It doesn't matter, you can join on both sides. And get your next little saltine ready. I have this one, so I guess I'm going to join this way so the 2 colors aren't so close together. And what yarn am I going to use? Such tough choices. Let me use this coral. So we're going to do the same way, just pick a different corner, join your yarn, and you're just going to work one side of this square. So I'm joining now, so I'm going to chain 1 and put my hook down into the square I'm joining to. Always remember to put your hook down. And bring up a loop of your yarn and slip stitch. And you want to do tight slip stitches. You don't want them to be loose. And wrap your yarn. Now we're going to finish our corner, so you can push those stitches back to give yourself some more space. Don't worry how this is hanging over there, just ignore it. And 3 double crochets. Oh, so 1 double crochet and into the next stitch that you can see. There is one in there, but it's a bit tricky. This yarn is so hard to see. Into that first stitch, and I'm going down into the completed squares. You're always putting your hook in down from the top, go underneath, grab the yarn and bring it up and slip stitch to join. So one more double crochet into the corner space and a slip stitch into the stitch. So your slip stitches are into the stitches and your double crochets are into the spaces. So I've done 2, so this is my last one into this corner. Oops. Into the next stitch, slip stitch, and we jump straight over to make our next corner. So into here, double crochet, put your hook down or out of the way, go into the next stitch, slip stitch, double crochet into the space, slip stitch into the stitch. And our last double crochet into the space, and our last slip stitch into the space. So going down into your work, grabbing the yarn, bringing it back, and slip stitching. So that's our 1 stitch of the corner, so a chain 1 for 2 stitches for our corner, and we can put our stitches back if there's space, and 3 more double crochets to finish this corner. So we're done joining. That was it for the join, and now we're just going to finish off this square. So you're going to do this for each square all the way along to make the sides of your bag and the strap. And I will meet you back when we're doing our joining part to make the big loop. I've joined 24 of these 2-row grannies to make 15 to go around the edge of the bag, down there, and 10 to make the strap, well 9. So I'm going to be doing the last one, and so we're going to join that up together. So you want to lay out your strip to make sure it's not twisted. So follow each side around, making sure it's flat, like so. I have a lot of ends to wiggle in. So take your last one, I can cut that center one off actually. Your last saltine, and let's get started. So take your center, and we're just going to start same as usual. So get it going. We're going to do it on one side. So join your yarn and just do the first row on one side and get your first side ready. So we're just going to join this side like regular. So put your hook in and join this one up. And when you're joining your squares, you want to start into the corner space and you want to finish into the corner space. It doesn't totally matter like every single stitch, but you want to start in the corner and end in the corner. So now we'll finish up this one side here and do our chain 1. And now we're going to be joining into this square here on that side. So we can move the big tail around so it's out of the way. And you know that it's not twisted. And now just join this side. It might feel a bit awkward, but it'll be fine. Tight slip stitch. And in that corner space, chain 1 and slip stitch to join. Like that. Cut your yarn. And we have a loop.